So basically what we have for today is the intro to assignment 3, which is creating a virtual world. And as usual, we have the videos and all the information here in the web page. So let me just quickly explain the assignment looking at this animation here. As you can see, we have a world made out of blocks, and everything here is a block, including the green ground and the sky. So basically the sky is this gigantic blue cube that is um, that has all the other objects inside it. So imagine, for example, this 1,000 by 1,000 by 1,000 cube, and where all these other smaller cubes are there inside it. And we are doing this because later we will see that um, in the next assignment, when you have lighting, we would like to see some reflection of what we're going to try to kind of model a sun, and then we want to see the light reflecting on this cube. That's the only reason why we are using this cube as the sky. Also because if you want, you can, as part of your extra points or your awesomeness points, you can apply textures to the sky and make a skybox. Right? As most of the games nowadays are even like, this is a very old technique, but most games, they implement the sky as this huge box where they have textures on each side of the cube or the internal sides of the cube. So you have this sensation of having like a horizon because this cube is very large. So that's another reason for making it a cube. I'm saying that because one quick, easy way for implementing this sky, the blue sky, would be just making a blue background, right? Or anytime you clear your canvas, you could just make a blue canvas, like a blue background. But that wouldn't allow you to have these lighting effects in the future or having a skybox. So essentially, that's it about the sky. Also, the floor here is just this box, or you can think of it as a plane, but it's this very narrow box, or thin box, sorry, that we use as a floor. So what we do is we scale it a lot in one axis, and then we scale it down. Well, for example, we can think of it as scaling it on the X and Y axis, and then scaling up, sorry, and then scaling it down on the Z axis, so it's very thin, and then it can act as a ground. Same thing could be done with a quad. Like we could have another shape called quad, which is just one-sided cube. That also would work, but we don't have that shape. We can just reuse our cube to do this. So that's the basic idea. And here we can see also that after creating your world, actually before that, let me talk about the textures. As we can see, the walls in this world are textured, and they all have the same texture on all the sides. So that's something that's going to make it easier to start with. So we want to have these walls with all the same textures, but you should also be able to have multiple textures per cube using the same ideas we're going to talk about today. And after having these textured cubes, the last part of the assignment is to have a camera. So as you can see here, we are moving the camera, and in this case, it's using a keyboard and the mouse. So you can move forward, backwards, left and right with the keyboard, and then you can look around with the mouse. And this is pretty much, if you have played any first-person shooter games, it's very similar to a first-person shooter camera. And as far as I remember, I don't think you have to implement a full camera. Let's see, like the controls have to be, yeah, you don't have, actually, as part of the assignment, you don't need to get the full credit, you don't need to do a full FPS camera, because here we say that you can turn left and right using Q and E. But in this animation here, I did with the mouse, which should be, I think, is a very nice extra thing to do. It's not that hard, and it makes the experience much better. But yeah, and here you have even some, yeah, I think, yeah, we explicitly mentioned this, some examples of extras you can do for the full paid credit. So basically what I wanted to do today is follow these instructions. Okay, I'm going to do it slightly different order, but I want to touch every single component of this assignment here, and including the camera and everything that we need for the textures. Obviously, I won't do the whole assignment, but I want to at least, for example, do for the camera, I want to do a forward movement so we see that, and then you have an example of what one single movement, and then you can probably generalize that to backwards and then left and right and all of that. Okay, and here you have, yeah, we have a lot of instructions already. And what else? Resources and the rubric. Okay, cool. Any questions? Like, is this clear? Cool. All right. And here on my right-hand side, I actually wrote down what we need to do today in terms of coding. Okay. I actually already copied. So let me show you this to make it clear. I made a copy of assignment. Oh no, not this one. I think this one. Fall 2020. Okay. I made a copy of assignment 2. If you don't remember what you have, just to freshen up, I think assignment 2 was, we left assignment 2 at this state. We had a triangle with these different colors in each vertex. And what I did, we also had a cube, right? But it's not here in the scene. We had a cube class that we didn't use much. But what I did was I made a copy of this assignment 2, and I have now this assignment 3, which is pretty much the same as assignment 2 with a cube in there. And so let me show you in the code, just to freshen, again, to remember, we had this cube class we didn't use. What I did was I added the colors in each vertex here. I think in the previous lab, we only added the X and Y, Z positions of the geometry or of the vertices. And now I added actually three extra values, which is the R, G, and B for that vertex. So for example, we are now seeing the front face of the cube. So here I have the comment like, this is the front face of the cube. If I change the colors here of this, I'm changing the blue channel of the color, right? This is red, this is green, and this is blue. So I'm changing the blue channel of all the vertices. So what we get is this other color here, which is a mix of red and green. Okay, we are getting yellow. So this just just to explain what I did essentially, but that's all I did. And if you look at our main code, we have the same shaders and same code we did before. The only difference here was that instead of having the triangle, I have a cube. So if you want to have both of them, just as an example, you could simply put it back and just uncomment this line as well. Now you have both the cube and the triangle. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yes. So now we see both here. And wait, this is translated, but if you don't translate it, this is the triangle we had, the same triangle we had from before, right? So from this code, what I want to do is extend it to do two things. Like we want to load a texture and to have a simple camera that for this lab, I just want to make the camera move backwards. Frontward to the front. So then you do the other ones should be an extension or a simple variation of the front, like moving forward movement.